Welcome to the 2024 Latinx Film Festival. My name is Scott Boehm. I'm the founder and director of the festival. We're thrilled to be back after a long break. And as part of our programming this year for this edition of the festival, we're tackling a very serious issue like we've done in the past, discussing issues related to immigration, DACA, and many issues that affect the community that we serve. This year, we are shining a spotlight on the issue of gun violence in the United States, which has become an American nightmare. And with us today in the studio, we're very happy to have with us Patricia Oliver and Manny Oliver, who are going to share a little bit about their experience and different initiatives that they're involved in, including Change the Ref, the Lawsuit for Survival, and the Shot Line. Patricia, could you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for founding Change the Ref and the work that you do?
Hi, Scott. Thank you for having us here today. Yes, we decided to do something. You know, right after we lost Joaquin, that was very shocking, unexpected. You don't know what's going on. But the fact that we were surrounded by friends, so they were just supporting us. I always said the day after to Joaquin's friends that they came home that we're going to solve the problem in the same place that we lost Joaquin, that was on the streets. I didn't know. That's the only thing that I thought right away. So during the following days, we were just talking, sharing what we can do. And that's when we came with the idea to form an organization. The name Change the Ref is very important because that was Joaquin's idea in a way. You know that Joaquin played basketball and baseball also. But in basketball, he was complaining after the games because he was saying that the referee was calling the wrong calls to him. So there was something specific about him that the referee didn't like it. So we got, putting the dots together, and we decided, what is the situation that we're having today? What we're having today is that the politicians are not doing the right work. They're not giving any importance to us, the citizens. So we came up with the name of Change the Ref, that stands for Change the Referee. So any politicians or any representative that is not doing their job, they have to do it. So that's the reason why.
And what types of initiatives and work have you been engaged with the organization? What would you like to highlight for people who are unfamiliar with the work you're doing?
Our work is directed to social actions. So we are social impact organization that wants to get the attention of the youth. We work through art in different expressions. We started with what we call the walls of demand. And we have over 40 around the country. Then we started with, we have different kind of sculptures that we were exhibiting anywhere in the country as well. We have Joaquin in 3D that was inspired because it was a moment that they were deciding to print the weapons on 3D. So we came with the answer of Joaquin in 3D in his regular size. So like that, many others, we've been working along with different advertising agencies, and they see the way we put together our actions, and they were attracted to that, so they came to us, and they keep coming to us, putting on the table different kind of projects. We study, we decided, we evaluated, and we go for it. And that's what we're doing till today.
So you're doing many things, both of you, as a team. One of those is you recently filed a lawsuit, which has the nickname, the Lawsuit for Survival. And I encourage people to go to the website of Global Action on Gun Violence, where you can find out more information, see a very powerful video, and also have the opportunity to sign a petition to support the lawsuit. Manny, could you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that initiative and just a few details about it for people who are unaware?
So the Lawsuit for Survival, it's the result of Patricia and me and thousands of young Americans. We've been visiting these entities, asking for reforms, asking for restrictions, regulations on the gun industry. And that includes Congress, Senate. We have been in these offices talking to these representatives. We actually were in the Oval Office talking to the president one-on-one talking about this. So basically, we ran out of entities. No one is actually either capable or willing to do something. So we decided to go outside of the United States so we can find more entities. That's how we did our lawsuit to the American States Organization. And they have a protocol. They have some principles, just like the United Nations has. And one of those principles is the right, the universal right to live, to the pursuit of happiness, okay? And that should be over any other right, because if you're not alive, there's nothing that you can do with any other right. You evaporate from using any right. So we introduced that lawsuit. It's amazing the response from people because, again, this is a new way of approaching the problem. We call it Joaquin Oliver versus the United States, which I think is a very cool and attractive, engaging movement. And so far, we have a lot of people that are supporting our initiative. It's also given the chance to other nations of judging how wrong we are doing here with the gun things. It's incredible that a first world country like the United States hasn't been able to solve that problem. So these things could take years. More than the result is a process to get there. And now we're just starting the process. But it's giving us the opportunity to have actions in other countries. Already groups from other countries have showed interest in having social movements. And it's really amazing because we're bringing the fight against gun violence that is actually already affecting other nations. It's not a secret that United States gun manufacturers are trafficking guns to Mexico, for example, and they go all the way to the cartels, and it's a chain of issues. So we're fighting all that through this lawsuit, and again, more than the result is the process and the bravery behind Joaquin that decides to sue the United States of America.
Yeah. We'll have the opportunity to discuss the lawsuit more in depth with one of the lawyers who's leading the case, Arturo Carrillo, who'll be joining us virtually. But you also just unveiled another initiative in Washington, D.C. right before coming here to join us for the festival. It's called the Shot Line. Patricia, could you tell us a little bit about this initiative?
Yeah, sure. Okay, this initiative is started last year. We started working, we got presented this project about bringing Joaquin's voice to life, sending a message. So we decided that moving forward with this project, and then we started evaluating. So the first voice was out there in social media by August, September, something like that. But that voice was in working process. So it wasn't that perfect as it is today. So we decided also to invite some other parents or members that they knew someone that they was lost to gun violence, and then we put it together, and we ended up being 6 different families with their loss of their loved ones. And, well, it was a hard process to go through because you have to listen to the process of the voice. And the moment that we got the last draft, which was what you hear today in the audio, it was very impacted. I was very impacted, very, very deep. It hits my heart because for the first time in 6 years, I got to hear Joaquin again with a comment that it was, actual, is what's going on today. And that was very impressive. I really went into a moment that I really wanted to hear more. You go to this denial mode that you really want to think that this is not real, that for a second it could be him talking to me over the phone, and you want to hear more. But the reality is that it's an illusion, and the fact that we're bringing a way to wake up and make people uncomfortable, like representative or anybody that is involved in politics, that is have done nothing, is important.
And it's also an answer to, they keep on telling you, call your representative. Like if you don't call your representative, nothing's going to happen. All right, so we tried that. We really tried calling our representatives for the last 6 years. And it didn't work. Either they're not paying attention or maybe the voice is not powerful enough. So now we have Joaquin calling representatives. So let me just briefly give you the numbers. We started this yesterday. We have already more than 30,000 calls from victims of gun violence to our representatives. We started with 6 families. We have more than 28 submissions for new voices to be added to the movement. So this is huge. If you did not listen to our voices, you don't have an option here. You have to listen to the voices of our loved ones. The goal, thousands of voices, which is not hard in a country like this one that is losing 110, 120 people per day because of gun violence.
On that point, and I mentioned the American Nightmare earlier, I think for our audience, that would be interesting, too, to just hear a little bit about your perspective of having been born and raised in Venezuela and then immigrating to the United States. How does that perspective and experience shape the way you've experienced and think about this issue in the United States?
Well, the issue has been always there. And we really ignore it. We didn't take it seriously 20 years ago when we got here. And we never have a problem. The kids were good. That was our dream. We were looking for that American dream. That was the reason why we moved here. So then you find out that you are in this new world, that you lost Joaquin to gun violence in his school. That's something that it was unbelievable, that you never will be accepting. What we have to recreate here is that we don't have to think because the country is presented the way it is, that we don't have to take anything for granted. We need to act and react. And that's the way the country works. And that's how we are learning from our experience. We got to go to the worst to be able to move forward and do something. That's the way we are being doing the last 6 years.
And there's also the fact, I believe that immigration has a very good side, which is people will come to this country and make it a better country, okay? We came here with dreams and mostly hoping that Joaquin will or kids, Andrea and Joaquin will have a great future. And here we are in a radio studio talking about how he was shot. So that did not ended up well at all. But that doesn't mean that we're not staying here. We can make this country better. And anybody that says, oh, well, you're from Venezuela, why don't you go back to Venezuela? Because I'm not going back to Venezuela. I live here. This is my new country. And by the way, I'm going to make it better. Because no one should be okay with innocent kids, or innocent people in general losing their lives just because. It's not making any sense, not here, not in any other country. So we're here to stay here, and we're going to keep on fighting until our last day that will be here, and because we owe it to Joaquin.
Thank you so much for being here with us during the festival. There will be so many opportunities to interact, to learn more about your story, Joaquin's story, through your show, Guac, Manny, that you'll be performing Saturday evening, and then also in other panels and events we have scheduled for today, as well as the meet and greet event that we have on Saturday afternoon at Casa de Rosado in Rio Town, where the Knotted Gun piece that you created will be on display. So we hope that our listeners will join us for any and all of those activities. And we'll be continuing to spread the word about how people can get engaged with Change the Ref, the Lawsuit for Survival, and also the Shot Line. Thank you so much.
Thank you.